Hello everyone, and welcome to my June plan with me in my bullet journal, where I show you all of my new spreads that I create for June and also flip through all of my completed bullet journal spreads from May. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, let's get started with the video. So I'm going to begin by pulling up my bullet journal and showing you all of my spreads for May. If you guys are interested in watching my May plan with me, I will make sure to leave a link to it in the description box. So for May, I did kind of a orange and yellow flower, sunflowery type of theme. So I have this painting on the front. Here is my May calendar. As you can see, I printed out lots of different photos from Pinterest and used this really pretty gold washi tape in it. And I also incorporated a lot of different doodles and floral designs and also some stickers. So here are all of my weekly spreads. And I like to change it up every week. This one over here happens to be my favorite for the month. So that is my super quick flip through of May. So now let's begin with planning for June. So I pulled out my koi watercolors and some watercolor paper, and we are going to begin with the cover page. So my theme for June, as you probably saw in the thumbnail, is a greenhouse or garden plant theme. I think June is the perfect month for this because everyone has pretty much planted their gardens and things are starting to grow and stuff like that. And just because I haven't done a plant theme in a very long time and I really like plants, so I thought this was the perfect time to do that. So I started by doing this background with a blue sky and some white clouds, and then this like green hilly landscape. This is just the background, so you weren't really going to see it. I ended up going over the sky a few times just to make the color a little bit darker, and I was really happy with how the clouds turned out. I actually used watercolor paper for this, and if you have seen my past videos, you know that I don't often use watercolor paper because I don't have it and I don't feel like buying it, but I found some in my house, so I like how it turned out, so maybe I'll buy some more. Anyways, I painted the floor this gray color, and then I'm going to start off by painting a lot of different plants in pots and stuff like that. So I made the mistake of just painting these pots randomly before adding the shelves, where I should have just painted the shelves in first, as you'll see soon, and then put the pots on there. I think it would have been a lot easier, and then the pots would have been on the shelves a little bit straighter, but I mean, I made it work, and as you can see, here I am painting that on. I just use a bunch of different colors from my koi watercolor set in like some brown and tan and like a terracotta color. Once the pots dried, I got to the fun part, which is painting all the different plants. So I tried to incorporate a lot of different colors of green and different textures and types of plants in all of the different pots. And I started by doing this with watercolor, and then later on I used different types of markers to add some more details to it, just because I was having troubles getting like a super straight and like thin lines with my paintbrush. But I started with the watercolors, and after that I did the outline of the greenhouse in these PaperHouse metallic markers. If you guys are interested in getting them, I will make sure to leave a link in the description box for you guys. And then I'm using some other of the metallic markers to add details such as flowers and little leaves and stuff like that. I like these markers, just because it's kind of like a paint marker, so you can easily go over top of this paper. Alright, so after I glued that into my journal, I pulled out some photos that I printed from Pinterest. These I didn't actually print on photo paper, but it still works the same. This is just on printer paper. And then I started to make my calendar. So because I don't have that many events going on, because we're all stuck at home, I'm just making a pretty small calendar for this month. I'm doing it in this green marker just to make it a little bit different instead of doing my normal fine liner calendar. So the top part is a little bit thicker so I can write out the days of the week, and then I'm doing the other part with a thinner point. So on top of the calendar, I added the days of the week in a metallic marker, and then I wrote out June in some calligraphy with the same color that I used for the calendar. And then with my Pinterest photos, I taped those in with some green washi tape, and most of my Pinterest photos were ones that were greenhouse and garden and plant themed that I found on Pinterest. And then I added this cute little cactus sticker from this sticker pack that I've had laying around for a long time, and I thought this was the perfect time to use that. And then I wrote out all of the days of the month in a metallic marker on the calendar. On top of the June header, I used a white gel pen, and I added this like leafy design on top of it. You can't really see it, and it didn't really make that big of a difference, but I guess it looks kind of cool. And then I added these vines on the top, which I ended up using throughout the entire kind of setup for June, so it's pretty much just a green line. And then I added these little leaves on it, so I did some on the bottom of the page over here as well, so they're just little V's on there, and they're super easy to make, and I think they look cute too. So I added that over there, and then also on the other side of the page by the photos later on, I added some more washi tape to the bottom and then another cute little sticker. This one has some succulents on it. And then later on I added a black drop shadow to the header just to add some depth to it. And because I thought that the page needed some more black in it, because I added it over here, I also went over all of the days of the month with a black circle to kind of add a little pop of color, I guess, not really. And then the metallic markers were like resistant to the water-based marker, so then they kind of just popped through after the black marker dried, which is cool. So then I didn't have to go over that again. And then here I am adding some more of those plant designs. So behind that, I decided to add some black like line drawing of a plant design, and I really don't like how this turned out. I regret doing this, but there was no going back, so I think it just looks kind of messy and too busy with the two different types of drawings there, but whatever. So pretty much it's just this leafy line, or this line with leaves on it, and then I drew a line in the center and then drew these little skinny lines on the side, and then I made a list with a to-do section and then events. Not like there's going to be very many events, but I mean, it's there if something happens. So I wrote that out in a green metallic marker just so I have space to write that in, and that is how the entire page turned out. It is very green and very full of plants, which is my favorite, so I think it'll be a great little calendar for the month. So now flipping the page to the next side, which will be my goals and favorites on the left hand side, and then a mixture of other things on the right. So because I am no longer in school and I'm on summer holidays, I don't need as much room to like plan and stuff like that, and I don't really feel as motivated to use my bullet journal as I was during the middle of the school year when I have a lot of things to get done and stuff like that. So I definitely condensed most of my spreads that I do on a monthly basis. So I started by putting in this Pinterest photo on the bottom and then added in those green vines that you saw me draw before to split the page up into two sections. So on the left side of the page, I'm going to have my goals section, and then on the right will be my favorites. And I wrote that out with the same green metallic marker, and then I just outlined that a little bit more to make the lines a bit thicker. So I had the awful idea of drawing in this monstera leaf at the bottom. I mean, it was an okay idea, but the execution was not great. So I don't really know what I was thinking, and I think I should have just completely left this out, but I drew this out with pencil first and outlined it with a fine liner, and then I just kind of went crazy with adding lines inside of it because I don't know why. It looks really bad and I don't like how it turned out. But I continued with it, and it is still in my bullet journal right now, so I guess it will just stay there for the month, and every time I go to this page I will just cringe when I look at it. So I tried to fix the page by adding some more of these like leafy things, and it was just not good. And then I added a sticker which made it even worse, so let's just all ignore this really bad page and move on to the next one. So I made this like palm kind of branch thing in the middle with the same technique with a long green line and then all of the little leaves on either side. And I just thickened up all of the lines to make it a little bit more prominent. And then on the top I have my expenses, which is kind of really small, but that's fine because I'm living at home now and I don't have as many expenses, so that is on the top. And then I have a very tiny little habit tracker on the bottom because I didn't feel like dedicating a whole page to it, and I kind of always get lazy tracking my habits towards the end of the month. I don't know if any of you can relate with that, but I wrote that in with the metallic marker and then added a cactus sticker on the bottom corner, which kind of didn't match, but that's okay. And then I made these little sections. So I have my expense category and then the amount. I did 2 of them so I can do 2 little columns. I am not splitting them up anymore just because I kind of find that it's redundant and wasn't helpful when my expenses weren't as categorized as I had hoped for them to be at the beginning of the year. And then that is it for that page. So after roasting myself for the past page and really hating that one, I have a spread that I really like. So I got some Pinterest photos and used this really cute green washi tape to stick them in. This one I ended up gluing in, but putting in or using washi tape is a lot more convenient, and especially since my glue stick is rather dried out, I kind of put them in this like checkerboard type of pattern, which I hadn't done in a while. So this one I did the washi tape on the corners to paste it onto the page. And once that was done, I took out the green marker and wrote June out on the top in some really simple calligraphy. I seem to be doing this for all of the headers for June in the same color, which is cool. It looks pretty. And then after that I drew out these lines where all of the days of the week are going to go. And then I brought back the line drawing, and this time I really improved on how I want my line drawings to look throughout this month. So I started with a thicker marker to draw the base, and then for the very little lines in the leaves, I took a 005 fine liner and then drew the little lines like that in that size instead, and this made a world of difference. So if you guys are going to be doing line drawings in your bullet journal, 10 out of 10 would recommend using varied sizes. I think it makes it look so much better. So I drew that throughout my page, so I did a total of 3. And for the rest of the days of the week, I drew that green baseline, and then I wrote out the days of the week in the metallic green marker over top of the other marker in like a monoline cursive type of font. And then after that I also added another photo in the corner. And what else did I do? I had another leafy thing, and one thing I did forget was to write the days of the month, which is kind of odd, but I think I'll add that later now that I see it. It's kind of confusing, so I will make sure to do that, and I think that is it for this spread. I'm really happy with it. It's nice and simple, and I love the look of the line drawings with the combination of the photos. I think it's really pretty. So now for a quick little flip through of my June spreads. So here's the cute little greenhouse watercolor, which I'm really happy with how it turned out, the calendar, and all of the other spreads. So overall, I'm super happy with this one, except for this page. Let's all ignore it. And yeah, if you guys have any video requests for me, I would love to hear them, or if you want to chat in the comments down below, I would love to answer any comments or questions from you. So I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!